Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Yeshua. Before getting into this presentation, I would like to say follow me on Twitter and Instagram and come join my Discord where we talk about esoteric topics and philosophy. If you like this sort of stuff and want to see more of this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe, and share my content, and also think about supporting me as well. You can do this by joining my Discord and downloading my presentations for yourself, along with subscriptions. And I also have a PayPal and other forms of supporting me, which I will leave in the comments and description. Now let's get into the presentation. So today's presentation is going to be about Sumerian origins and hybrid creatures. So a little background on the Sumerian religion. It is commonly stated that Sumerians believed in anthropomorphic polytheism, or of many gods in human form, which were specific to each city-state. The core pantheon consisted of An, Enki, Enlil, Inanna, Utu, and Sin. It is said that the Sumerian religion was the first literate civilization found in recorded history and is based in ancient Mesopotamia. The Sumerians regarded their divinities as responsible for all matters pertaining to the natural and social orders. All right. So, the Sumerians, known to be one of the earliest civilizations on Earth, emerged around 4500 to 4000 BCE, but the earliest historical records only date to around 2900 BCE. And they emerged in the region known as Mesopotamia, which is now located in present day Iraq. One aspect of the Sumerian religion is that of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki is a group of deities believed to be the children of the sky god Anu. Etymologically, the word Anu and Naki means those who descended from heaven. It is also said that the Anunnaki means princely seed as well. According to the legends, there was only the primordial sea and the sky. The union of these two elements gave birth to the first gods, including Anu, which is the god of the sky, and Ki, the goddess of the earth. From Anu and Ki came Enlil, the god of the air and storms, who became one of the most prominent deities in the Sumerian pantheon. we we also see this sort of parallel within the ancient Egyptian culture, where the creation myth of Nut and Jeb birthed the gods of Cyrus, Isis, Nephthys, and Set. Another similarity is found between the creation myth of Marduk and Tiamat and the Mesoamerican creation myth of Quetzalcoatl and Tlailtecuhtli, or Tlailtecuhtli. In the Enuma Elish, Marduk fights Tiamat, who is in the form of a monstrous sea dragon who represents the primeval forces of darkness and the chaotic waters. Marduk kills Tiamat and uses her corpse to create heaven and earth. In the Mesoamerican myth, Quetzalcoatl fights the goddess Tlailtecuhtli, who is also depicted as a monstrous sea serpent crocodile, representing the primeval forces of darkness and the chaotic waters. Quetzalcoatl kills her and splits her body in two, creating the heavens and the earth. In Sumerian cosmogony, humans were created by the gods to serve them and to tend to the needs of the divine realm. One of the mythological accounts of human creation comes from the Epic of Atrahasis, which is 1700 BCE, which is a Sumerian poem describing how the gods created humans and to elevate their workload. This poem parallels the biblical story of the flood found in the book of Genesis. It is speculated and theorized that the creation of the hieroglyphs are dated around the same time when the Sumerians or the Anunnaki started to appear, which is around 4000 BCE. The specific time frame for the creation of the hybrid creatures in particular dates around the early dynastic period, somewhere around 2900 to 2350 BCE. These hieroglyphs sometimes depict a human figure with wings, or in other cases, a eagle with a human body with wings. These creatures appear to always hold handbags and to be holding a pine cone. Within Christianity, particularly within the Catholic denomination, the Pope has been seen holding a scepter of a cross that has pine cone symbolism on it, and at the Vatican in Rome is seen the pine cone, which a lot of people obviously know about. Sometimes the Sumerian figures depict a human body with wings, and in other times, a bird head with a human body with wings. This is symbolic for higher stages of consciousness. The eagle head alone, the eagle head along with the wings are representing liberation, because the eagle is one of the highest flying birds, and so for this reason it is symbolic for higher consciousness. The pine cone obviously represents the pineal gland, and the handbag that the figures hold, the Anunnaki holds, are said to be buckets, and these buckets are are seen next to the tree of life in some Sumerian hieroglyphs, which are said to water the tree. All right. So here is seen the Vatican and one of the popes uh, holding this scepter with pine cone symbolism. Seen within this slide is that of the animals of the Aztec calendar, both showing symbols for higher consciousness. So these symbols are of man's, basically symbols of man's spiritual rebirth. Uh, found found throughout history is the symbol of the double-headed eagle. This symbol appears throughout Freemasonry and is also symbolic of spiritual rebirth. Once again, the eagle represents higher consciousness, and the crown is the coronation, which is the act of placement or bestowal of a crown on a monarch's head when a new king or queen is officially installed. It is also important to note that America's symbol is the eagle, and in Egyptian myths, they refer to Horus being the falcon or the eagle. Uh, Continuing on, a massive bird with the body of an eagle and the head of a lion called Anzu or Zu is seen on ancient Sumerian hieroglyphs. Anzu was known for stealing the Tablet of Destinies from the god Enlil, which conferred upon him supreme authority over the cosmos. Within Greek mythology is that of the griffin or the griffon. The griffin is a hybrid animal that has the tail, legs, and body of a lion, and has a head and wings of an eagle. Within Christianity, there is also this sort of symbolism with the tetramorph, or the four heads of the holy cherub, where it is said that the four figures of it are the man, lion, bull, and the eagle. These figures are the fixed signs of the zodiac. Even the Pope himself was seen holding the four Gospels, and on each corner of the Gospel, there's one of the four tetramorphs. Alright, so here we see the Pope holding the four Gospels, which is the fixed signs of the zodiac. It's to do with the seasons. Alright, so both the Sumerian and Assyrian cultures have this depiction of the Anunnaki to the outer left and right, and they are seen next to the tree of life with a winged disc with a man in the center, which is the sun. And so seen in another hieroglyph is what appears to be fish people holding handbags or buckets next to the tree of life. Just like the other two images, we can associate the water and the tree of life to the creation story, where there was nothing but the primeval waters. And so from the primeval waters comes about creation. And this is where we see the winged disc, which is the sun, which I described earlier in other parallel myths, because it's the sun rising from the primeval waters. It's like electricity, the law of the triangle. So another hybrid figure within the Sumerian culture is that of the Lamassu. The Neo-Assyrian period, during which the Lamassu was particularly prominent, dates from around 911 to 609 BCE, and these figures would be placed around entrances of palaces and cities. This figure almost looks like the griffin from Greek mythology. This figure is composed of the head of a human, the body of a bull, and the wings of a bird. In my last video, I stated that the word bull in Spanish is toro, and so this is representing once again a symbol for higher consciousness. This mythological hybrid is also known as a protective deity, and it's obvious to see the correlation between the symbolism of the Lamassu and it being a protective deity. Within the Akkadian culture, which is similar to the Sumerian culture, we see the hybrid creature of Mushusu. The Mushusu was the sacred animal of Marduk and his son Nabu during the Neo-Babylonian Empire. The dragon Mushusu, whom Marduk once vanquished, became his symbolic animal and servant. It was taken over by Marduk from Tishpak, the local god of Eshnunna. So here we are seeing other mythological hybrid creatures. We see a seven-headed Leviathan, which is relating to the planets, the sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. We also see a Ryujin, if I pronounce that right, which is a sea dragon in Japan. And there is also the dragon in the Chinese culture. The dragon is representing, in one sense, the magnetic field energy of the Earth, and it also represents the Milky Way as well. So here we see a ancient hieroglyph depicting a serpent. Once again, this is representing magnetic field energy. Before I get into this slide, I'd also like to say that there's also another Egyptian hieroglyph of, they call it electricity. I've also heard it's to do with the seasons. It's pretty interesting, pretty symbolic. Alright, so the ancient Sumerians created alabaster figures as a form of worship, like the standing male worshiper found in the temple of Eshnunna. These figures, with their wide eyes and attentive stance, were meant to offer prayers to the gods continually. So here we see in Australia that of the alien paintings of the Wandjina sky beings in the Aboriginal culture, which date around 3,800 to 4,000 years ago. This is seen as like, even though they like to relate them to aliens, this is more so to do with like the magnetic field, or sorry, the torus field, I should rather say, because you got the vortex of creation right here, and then you got like the two hemispheres, or the two bulls or balls, and yeah, it's basically to do with the torus field and magnetism, stuff like that. The head can be seen as like the the field that goes all the way around these. So the field goes all the way around these two forces. So yeah, pretty symbolic. Seen within this image is the Kusaruku, if I pronounce that right, or the Bull Man. This ancient artifact is conveying to us the Taurus field symbolism within man. You can also say this is like to do with Taurus as well, because the sun goes into Taurus uh, at a particular time of the year. There. So, according to the myths, the sun god Mithra, or the sun god sent his messenger, the raven, to Mithra. Mithra is the sun god, and ordered him to sacrifice the bull. Mithra executed the order reluctantly, in many reliefs. He is seen turning aside his face in sorrow, but at the very moment of the death of the bull, a great miracle happened. This is kind of like slaying of your dumber self. It's kind of like a symbolic initiation, because the bull is seen as like whenever you slay a bull, or whenever you see like a bull slain in mythology, it's basically relating to man's lower self as a dead carcass. And Mithra being a symbolic sun, it's also to do with the zodiac as well, and the sun being in the sign of Taurus, the bull. And this is where we get the golden calf in the Bible. It's the sun and the constellation of Taurus, basically. And so, thanks for watching. This is my presentation on Sumerian origins and hybrid creatures. Think about joining my Discord. Think about following me on Twitter and Instagram. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and share my content. And think about supporting me for more content so I can keep doing this. And yeah, thank you for watching, everyone.